to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here. Now, this is a hypnosis session to help you really extract all of the value, the wisdom from a past relationship that can enable you to be much more discerning in any future relationships. At the crux of this hypnosis session, it's really about the ability to look back at key moments through the lens of knowing what I now know. What would I have done differently? And this was a client that had a long relationship, 27 years. And in that time, they tolerated a lot in that relationship that now they wouldn't tolerate, but it came from their own childhood of what they saw in their family and a desire to really make something work. And I think it's such a powerful belief that if you are in a relationship, you have the ethos to mend that relationship rather than end the relationship. However, that can lead to broken values and almost ever reducing self-esteem if no matter what happens in the relationship, you tolerate it. That would be a form of weakness because there is no boundaries. So what this hypnosis session does is helps the client to go back to key moments of the relationship through the lens of knowing what I now know, what would I do different, and how can I extract the value going forward. Now that's quite a powerful and useful frame of thinking. And I would encourage you, if you are, let's say, coming to the end of a relationship or the relationship has already ended, but at some level you haven't quite moved on, there will be some elements of this that at the structural rather than superficial level will connect to your experience, because at some level there is always wisdom that we can learn. And I'd encourage you to think about whether it's yourself or someone else that when they leave a relationship, they're in such a hurry to get into a new relationship that there is no self-reflection, there is no wisdom being taken from the past, either about selection choice or what they actually brought, what you actually brought to that relationship. So there might be something valuable that you can take from this, and it ends with future pacing where they could actually imagine themselves in a positive relationship, but using all of that discernment from the past into their future. So if at some level these themes connect, you should get some value from this. It was created for an individual though, so some of the suggestions might have been relevant for the client, but not quite relevant for you. So feel free to hone into the suggestions that are useful, ignore any that aren't. And if you do like the idea of a bespoke session, there will be a link in the description where you can book a completely free consultation call to explore working with me. For now though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be distracted or disturbed. Relax and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in that slow, long breath of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to feel heavier and more relaxed. That's it. And as you release that breath, feel tension start to leave your body. Deeper and deeper relaxed. Now, and want you to imagine breathing in a color that represents worthiness. Whatever that color feels like it should be, imagine a bright, glowing version of that color. Imagine that worthiness going in through your nostrils, down your windpipe, into your lungs. And imagine your heart taking that color of worthiness and distributing it to every cell in your body. And as you exhale, imagine the opposite leaving your breath, a dark, shadowy color that represents unworthiness. I want you to get a feeling that sometimes the value we give ourselves can sometimes be tainted by the way other people treat us. I want you to imagine someone sleeping on the street, ignored, and perhaps people are yelling abuse. Perhaps even they experience violence. And it would be easy for that individual to equate how other people treat them as a measure of their value. Imagine that person sleeping on the street is teleported to a different reality, a different universe. They are treated like a VIP in every area of their life. People are opening doors. Any wish, any demand, immediately responded to. I want you to get an intuitive feeling that their feeling of worthiness could change. The same person in a different environment can feel more or less worthy. And one of the most powerful things to do to increase a feeling of self-worth is to remove yourself from an environment where you're not valued. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to imagine looking at a photo album. Even if you've never had a photo album, you know what they look like. Big, thick leather books. Each page has 3 or 4 photos. And imagine this is a photo album of memories up to now. As you look at the first few pages, I want you to see you as a baby, and then as a young child, living in different places, different countries. And I want you to see from the expression on your face how worthy you felt based on different environments you were in. Keep turning the pages. I want you to see that all it took was a few people in your life to believe in you, to value you, and things immediately changed. But I want you to imagine turning to a page in that photo album where you met someone that became the mother of your children. I want you to see how young you looked. Perhaps naive. You'd never had a long-term relationship before. And I want you to see the qualities in that younger version of you. Qualities of loyalty, love, a desire to support, provide. And in the same way that you had your past and your beliefs, your roles and identity, everyone else has their own. Men often feel that to love is to protect, to provide, to give. And many women grew up watching Disney films where the princess doesn't need to do anything, that they are the prize, that their responsibility is simply to receive. And I want you to look at that through a lens of acceptance, not judgment. People have different ideas as to their role, to their responsibilities. And I want you to imagine that every human is both the lock and the key. And I want you to get a sense that you were the key that kind of fit that lock, but not perfectly. Just enough to feel like it was meant to be. But as you turn the pages of that photo album, I want you to see it, how often you were relying on hope to make the relationship that you always wanted. I want you to get a sense that in the same way that there are some men that don't want a team, they want a trophy to put on a pedestal, and that's what they're looking for in their partner. And some want to be the trophy or be the princess. And I want you to get a sense that that was never what you were looking for. When you look back, what you were really looking for was a partnership, a team, pulling together in the same direction to build a life that you both wanted. But what if that's what you wanted? Not necessarily what they wanted. I want you to get a sense of how easy it is for two people to move a sofa from one part of the room to another. It just happens in seconds. And think how difficult it is for one person to move that same sofa. And what if you were doing what you could to move that sofa on your own, hoping you'd get someone else to lighten the load? And even when you asked, and even when you communicated, it always ended up you moving that sofa all by yourself. And I want you to think, as you look through the photos that represent key milestones and memories of those first few years in that relationship, what were the red flags that were being waved and you avoided. You may have seen them, but ignored them. Or maybe you didn't notice them at all. But now, with all your experience and wisdom, now when you look back, some of those red flags were obvious. As you turn a page in the photo album, I want you to see pictures of an early holiday. Some people consider an early holiday in a relationship as a litmus test, a clue. It's almost like a relationship training at altitude. If the relationship is strong, that holiday will bring people closer together. But if it's the wrong key for the wrong lock, an early holiday could reveal the lack of compatibility. What if all along what you wanted was different from what they wanted? And what if you ignored those early signs because of your own past? A belief that you can simply will it to make it work. If there's a problem, you'll fix it. And what if by doing that, the other person started to feel less of a need to change or alter themselves, because all of the changing and altering was being done by you? As you turn the pages and see these memories, I want you to feel how easy it is to extract all of the wisdom. Wisdom about what kind of person do you really want to be with? Wisdom about what are you willing to tolerate and what are you not willing to tolerate? Some people believe that the reason that bad things happen to good people is that you get what you tolerate, not what you deserve. And I want you to see, as you flick those pages, just how much you tolerated, and therefore you received what you tolerated. Your intention was good, but at some level you enabled everything in that relationship to happen the way it happened, because by accepting it, the message implicitly is that this is okay. But knowing what you now know, I want you to imagine updating those photos to what they would have been. Those early meetings, dates, conversations may have meant that a relationship never became a relationship. Someone you simply got to know and figured out wasn't quite compatible for you. Or maybe it was an early holiday. But rather than that holiday finishing, no longer on speaking terms, rather than that creating a desire to make it better, what if that was all the information you needed to think it over and think, this isn't quite right. It's not for me. As you update memories to new choices, empowered, discerning choices, I want you to get a feeling that when it comes to relationships, if it's not quite as you want it to be, you don't end it, you mend it. That gives it a chance. But I want you to feel not just a belief, but a conviction taking form that if you try to mend it and you can't mend it, you can't get the relationship to the level that you're happy and fulfilled in that relationship, then your duty is to end it for the good of you and for the good of them and for the good of anyone else involved. I want you to get a sense that time is precious, and to stay in something that isn't quite there means that time that could be deployed elsewhere for you and them gets tied up in something not quite right. And if your unconscious is willing to extract the wisdom of the past to influence the future, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. But let's not just extract wisdom, let's extract gratitude. I want you to think how much you've grown over that time, how you've evolved, your level of self-awareness, demons of the past that have banished, your resilience, your capabilities all enhanced. And then see the photos in that album of the births or early memories of your children. It's possible that incredible things can come from a relationship that wasn't ideal. And you get to be grateful. Grateful that incredible things can come from things that were suboptimal. A rotten fruit could be thrown into the ground, and the seeds of that rotten fruit could create wonderful, impressive trees. While the fruit wasn't desirable, it doesn't mean it had no value. As you breathe in and breathe out, extract the gratitude and the wisdom from that relationship with a clear perspective that it was never yours to own. She was never a possession. She was a passenger in the journey of your life, and you were a passenger on hers. And for a while, you were two passengers sat side by side, sharing a journey, but the journey was never ever going to the same destination. And when you think of that now, it all makes sense. And you've sat next to passengers on a train or a plane, and you don't think about them when that journey ends. This may have been a longer journey, and you may have been passengers for longer. But now anything that they do, unless it directly impacts your children, is none of your concern. Their choices are their choices. Their decisions are their decisions. But that also applies to you. Your choices are your choices, and your decisions are your decisions. And I want you to get a flavor and a feeling that you were too reliant on hope. And rather than relying on hope, I want you to be willing to make choices and decisions based on reality, not hope and wishful thinking. That when someone shows you who they are, you believe your own eyes and your own experiences. When they show you, believe them. And if they're disrespectful, rude, it's information for you to influence your choices, your decisions. There is no obligation to stay in a relationship that is one-sided, that is parasitic, where you're the host and they just take and take. That's not a relationship. That's a transaction. And if your unconscious is now willing to draw a line on the past, to say, it is what it is, and it was what it was. So any thoughts and emotions that come up from this point forward are simply echoes of the past. And any pangs of desire are not for the past, it's for the future that you are currently creating. If your unconscious mind is willing to extract all the value from the past and now move on from it, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And now, as you turn the pages of that photo album, I want you to imagine seeing yourself over the next few months with a new level of confidence, a new lease of life, with all of that wisdom and gratitude. In the future, if anyone asks about that relationship, you speak from a place of how much wiser you are and how grateful you are. No resentment, no bitterness, no anger, because it doesn't exist. What you truly have is a feeling of gratitude. You're grateful for what it did for you, but you're more discerning now. To avoid history repeating, see yourself over the next few months. New dates, new interactions, not from a place of weakness, from a place of strength. The wisest, most capable version of you. And anyone that doesn't want that is good news for you, because it means you don't need to be so discerning. You only need to be discerning with those that are interested in you. I want you to feel that whatever happens, you're moving forward. Every date makes you wiser, every interaction more discerning. And you are operating from a belief. You don't need a relationship. You're just open to the right relationship. And I want you to imagine that future relationship. In the early weeks, perhaps months of that relationship before it becomes exclusive or serious, I want you to get a sense that you initiate conversations about the future or a shared holiday, so that you can extract the value of the past to be more discerning in the future. If your unconscious mind agrees, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Imagine closing that photo album and try and think about the past in a way that makes you feel sad or nostalgic, and notice how elusive it is. It becomes impossible to think about that relationship without feeling that you're wiser and grateful that you have moved on completely. It's time to leave this place in your imagination, so take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, start to connect and calibrate into the here and the now as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.